Hey everybody, welcome back to STR Unfiltered. I'm Bill Faith. Excited to have you here today. And just the title of this podcast is Don't Follow Me to Kentucky. Podcast released last week on STR Unfiltered and STRnomics. We're not actually supposed to go out for about another month. I have not closed there yet. I am under contract as of you listening to this podcast, or at least the release date. And here's the problem. As soon as I made this public, people start looking at Kentucky. It doesn't matter what market you go into. There's better or worse markets, I promise you, but this all comes down to the individual property. If you didn't see my Superhost Sunday that I did, I guess that would have been the 16th. You can go to my YouTube channel, Build Short-Term Rental Wealth YouTube channel. And if you do want to get into the Superhost Sunday, just text Superhost Sunday to 844-764-2132. And you can catch that every Sunday. But here's the deal. I've talked about this before. Don't follow influencers into markets. I hate the word influencer, but I guess I am one kind of in this industry. So when I go and I invest someplace, then people pay attention. Then they start looking and they think, wow, if Bill's going to that market, it must be a great market for me to go into. And here's what I want to make crystal clear. I invested into Kentucky because of the year-round market and the Bourbon Trail. And the place that I currently have under contract is 7 miles from Bardstown, which is the bourbon capital of the world. I am in the county. I am not in the city of Bardstown. Nearly impossible without buying a commercial property zone commercial or bed and breakfast to be able to get a permit inside the city of Bardstown. The county, I'm still going to close on the property and I still will not have a permit issued. I'm going to have to go through that process afterwards. So there's risk. The other thing is it's the property that I'm investing into. So sure, I've got to have the traffic drivers that surround the property, but I'm just not going to go buy any house on any lot in any location. If I don't find the perfect canvas that I can update, I can change, I can create a tremendous amount of value after closing, I can ARV it, then I'm not going to make the investment. And that's what I found is literally I was not looking to invest into Kentucky. It was not it wasn't in my plan. It wasn't in my radar. I'm always looking to invest every day. You've heard me say ABI, always be investing, always be looking. You got to practice to keep, your research, your performance skills, all these things in practice, right? But I wasn't looking in Kentucky. And Tony Boer posted a property on her Facebook page. She's the go-to STR agent with Savvy Realty. That's Tyler Coons. Yep, they're in Kentucky. And I looked at the property and I don't know why I clicked on it. The house looked really cool. There was a good kind of hero image photo, but then I dove into it and I saw it was 7 acres. There was a lake. There was a pool, which most places don't have. There were these outbuildings that the current owner was using as like a garage and a shop, and he had a little sitting room in there. And there was a 3-car garage and then a separate 2-car garage. There was a hot tub. There was a lot of things, and it was a cabin. There was a pasture. There's a lot of stuff. Now, with that lake, they also had this ginormous burn pit. It's like a 25-foot diameter fire pit. So I'm looking at all these things, and the way that I think, and you guys should know this by now, and you guys should be thinking the same way, how am I going to market this? What can I do to change or upgrade this? And how do I increase the marketability to potential guests? And if I do that, the more I see of this, and here's what happened. There was so much that I could stack into this property. Golf holes, new fire pit. Actually, there's going to be 2 fire pits. I was just there yesterday. One of the garages, the out parcels, is 4,800 square feet, and the owner's taking everything, and it is clean. So epoxy the floors, paint the walls, let my wife turn it into the most kick-ass, quadruple oversized, game room and theater room, and for $5,000 I can drop in a half a bathroom in there. Just these things are going to happen. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to put 3 75-inch screen TVs. So, you can watch Kentucky basketball and you can watch SEC football and golf all at the same time. And then I'm going to put in these 3 different sitting areas, and I'll put in a little wet bar next to the bathroom because I'm going to have the plumbing right there. Put in outdoor ping pong table. I love this outdoor ping pong table. It's a Jula from Wayfair. Pool table, and maybe even a golf simulator, because golf's a big deal up there. So that's just one place. And what am I going to do with the lake? Well, I've got Luke Bryan's lake guy from a good friend of mine that's been using him. He'll give me a referral I'll get an aerator in there. It's already stocked, but I'll put an aerator. I'll put a feeder. I'll have them drop some, I don't even know what you call it. I guess plants or flowers or whatever the hell it is. So that way it gets some coverage in there. Have them build some faux rocks. Probably spend like $5,000, $6,000, $7,000. And literally the 1 pound bass in there will double in size by the next year. We'll make it a great fishing lake. Drop in, the lake's big enough. I don't know what it is. It's probably 1.5 acres to 2 acres. Paddle boat, a couple of kayaks, a couple of paddle boards. Take that 25-foot fire pit and literally rip it all out, get rid of it. Use that 25-foot in diameter, run 6x6s all the way around it, string lights all the way around the thing, 48-inch fire pit, Adirondack chairs, boom, done. Peat gravel all through that. 7 acres. Step out the back door, tee it up, literally 50-yard hole, about a 100-yard hole, and a 225-yard golf hole on the other side of the lake. So you can either play and walk around, or you can do closest to the hole and some gambling and bet with all the guys. When they're done, playing golf during the day, or Bourbon Trail, those are the two biggest drivers up there. Really, Bourbon Trail's first, kind of golf next. They can go out and do that in the evenings when it's not dark in the summer until 9 o'clock at night. They can smoke cigars because they're probably not going to want to just sit in my cigar smoking room and bourbon tasting room, which is that 2-car garage that looks like an airplane hangar. So the point of this is, and I kind of went over this in the Superhost Sunday broadcast last week, is if I can't do all of those things, plus it has a pool, plus it has a hot tub, all those boxes are already checked. It's a cabin. There's enough room for 3 horse trailers to pull in, turn around, drop off horses, put them in the pasture. Horse trailers, turnarounds, cabin, 6-bedroom, 4-bath. I love larger properties. Pool, which nobody has. Hot tub's already there. Fire pit, lake, awesome bass fishing, 3-hole outdoor, basically full-size golf holes, golf simulator, huge, the biggest ass freaking, man cave party room we've ever seen. Oh, by the way, roll up the garage door on the back and you're like 25 yards to the lake and you'll have your own private fire pit back there. Bourbon and smoking room? Who has that? Nobody. I will be the first to have all that stuff. I know some of you will come in behind me and some of you will find properties and do the exact same thing. But what I am not doing is buying a nice house that doesn't have the ability to create all of that other stuff. There's not enough traffic. Like 2 million people visited the Bourbon Tour last year. I think it was 14 million went to Gatlinburg last year. Huge difference. So I've got to be the biggest. I've got to be the best. I've got to be the most attractive. And I've got, most importantly, about 17 different things to market. If I don't have that, I don't invest. Don't follow me into this market unless you find something similar. You've got to have the plan, and this is part of the evaluation process. So it's not just about market. That's why the title of this podcast is Don't Follow Me to Kentucky. If you can't visualize, if you can't see all this stuff, if you can't find a property that checks at least 5 or 6 of these boxes, then don't do it. And here's the secret. Don't tell anybody, but it's not just about Kentucky. It's every market in the country. Don't be average. Find your canvas. When you find your canvas like this, then you need to paint it in full color. And if you do that, you're going to have a winner. Thanks for joining me on this episode of STRUnfiltered. I hope you have found this valuable. If you have, jump over to Facebook. If you're not in my Build Short-Term Rental Wealth Facebook group, you should be. Follow me on Instagram. You can see right down here, BillFace73. Lots of stuff going on in my reels every single day and in my stories. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. And if you would be so kind, if you're listening on Apple or Amazon, Spotify, take 30 seconds if I've created any value and leave me a review. It would mean the world to me. Have a great day, everybody, and happy